Welcome to 50 Ways to Succeed at Work, where you hear stuff about ways to succeed even the most well-intentioned colleagues, advisors, careers officers and HR departments may never get around to mentioning. Today's episode is Play Big. Why it pays to avoid being petty at work. In a study of 15,000 business professionals, 99% said they'd witnessed petty behaviour, yet no action was taken against the individual engaging in that behaviour. Like weeds in a garden, pettiness flourishes unasked in most organisations. Doing something about this debilitating form of behaviour is trickier than merely naming it. Here's one neat view of what pettiness at work is about.
Have you ever worked with someone who is petty? Here's what I mean by petty. They major in the minors. They make mountains out of molehills. They talk about everybody and they just keep stuff stirred up all the time.
It happens when people are obsessed with unimportant matters or minor details at the expense of working on their priorities. You can probably think of many examples in your work. Whatever form they take, these interrupt progress and make work less enjoyable. If you indulge in them or don't try to stop them, it can damage your chances of success if you become locked into this kind of wasteful activity. Do you want to see the wide range of issues that make pettiness at work? Then Google the Stomp Out Most Pettiness checklist. You'll find there issues such as someone throwing a tantrum, taking credit for someone's work or the work of a team, undermining a boss or co-worker to their peers, withholding information from those who need it to perform their job, and so on. Few people at work set out to be petty, nor do they want others in the organisation to be petty. Yet pettiness can and often and does thrive at work. In seeking your success, identify and oppose pettiness whenever you encounter it. Here are a couple of known facts about many acts of pettiness at work. Whatever the pettiness form takes, it's probably not about the issue that people are so vigorously complaining about. Something has triggered them, and they respond in the only way they know. Also, many types of pettiness are a form of microaggression. They make the person pushing the pettiness to feel better, while leaving you feeling inadequate or even abused. Tackling pettiness comes down to two linked actions. First, be ruthless. Keep in mind the big picture and refuse to be distracted. And second, be willing to name out loud what is happening. Some of the things you might say in response to some piece of pettiness could be, is this relevant to our current priorities? I hear your concerns, but let's stay focused. I know this information is important to you, but I also need it for my work. Yes, I understand your point, but let's just keep in mind the big picture. Another approach that may demand a small amount of courage is inviting the person causing the problem informally, say to lunch or coffee. Pettiness purveyors don't expect to be called out gently like that. Make it clear you know what's happening. Explain its effects on you and ask to be treated better by them. This works 4 out of 5 times. When it doesn't, discuss it with a senior colleague to see if they can help stop the unwanted behaviour without making a formal complaint. Paradoxically, it can seem petty to try and tackle pettiness instead of just ignoring it. Yet such behaviour often leads to damaging teamwork, meeting goals, breaching policies, and other signs of poor performance. So what action am I proposing? Well, first of all, check your behaviour to make sure that you're not being petty or small-minded. Second, make a start by reviewing signs of pettiness at work and speaking up about it. Third, listen carefully to those you regard as petty or small-minded and discover what lies behind their concerns. And the takeaway from all of this? Well, focus your energy on the big picture and encourage colleagues to help you tackle and put a stop to pettiness. You've been listening to an episode of Andrew's 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. For more episodes, subscribe free to my regular weekly podcasts. You can catch up on past ones at the 50ways.site, where you can also become a foundation member with access to e-learning units, transcripts, further reading links, and the forum where you can ask questions, share problems, and join a growing community of people who seriously want to succeed at work. Thanks for listening, and bye for now until next week.